Okay, hello, welcome to another out-of-the-box miniature painting video. This one I'm going to be doing a diorama board for my upcoming Bloodbowl team, the Chaos Snotlings. So I'm about to do a galaxy themed sort of board with it. What I will need is the etch primer that I'm going to be using, but I'm also going to be using some acrylic black paint to start off with. And then I'll kick it into a galaxy theme a bit later on and show you what paints I use. So starting off first, we've got the primer. Now, just a light spray, and you want to spray from side to side, not straight on, because otherwise that's when you start getting the drips. So you want to start from outside and then work your way this way. Just a light coat to start off with. Otherwise you do start to get some runny paint happening. Wait for that to dry just a little bit. Do another quick light coat. Do one more in a second. Yeah, one more over there. Okay. So that's going to give us the base foundation to actually be able to use this acrylic paint. So what I've got below me is just some greaseproof paper. And you see I've already used a test patch there to see if this will actually work or not. I'm going to squeeze some paint onto that. And then just to make it run a bit better, I'm going to mix it with a cup of water. Got a little bit of water here, just dip the brush in that. Put it into the paint and just sort of stir it around a little bit on the actual paint itself. Just here. And what that'll do is when you actually put that on here, you're not going to get the brush strokes when it dries. And I just want to make sure that this is all completely black so that when I go to airbrush the Galaxy paint on there, it will show up a lot better. And you'll see why when I start doing that. So without further ado, I'll give it back to the music and you can watch me paint. Okay, while I wait for that to dry, I'm going to set up my airbrush and we'll come back. We have now waited for the paint to dry on this, and as you can see there's no brush strokes into the actual wood itself, so now it's time to put some colour onto it. Now I'm using three colours. We've got Colour Shift Nebula here, we've got Colour Shift Galaxy. Now these are airbrush paints, and we've got a white, Snow White airbrush. What we want to do is we want to start off with Nebula. Now, because this is such a large piece, we want to try and incorporate some of that black to actually stay there. So be as sparing as possible with the Nebula paint and try and keep some of that black still in there. More so in the corners is probably where you'd want it, because that is where the outer reaches of space will be. You kind of want to make obviously the center piece being more your focal point. So once the Galaxy is done, and obviously you want to do this in a very well ventilated area, because as you can see there is a lot of spray that goes everywhere. Once you've got your Galaxy done, Nebula done, you want to move on to the Galaxy section. Okay, so the next section we want to move on to now is white. Now what I want to do with this is I want to sort of put it into streaks along the way, because it's not actually going to be white. We're going to put the nebula over the top of it to really bring it out and make it look like a galaxy. So I will start with that now. Don't worry too much if you do happen to get some spots coming through, as once we do the nebula, it'll all blend in. Okay, so once the white's done, we now move on to the nebula. Okay, so now the next paint that we want to move on to is actually Galaxy, not Nebula. So now we go from there and we cover majority of the white. Some of the white you want to still leave in, but you want the actual nebula, sorry, the Galaxy, to go over the top and be more like a layered effect. I'm not going to believe this, but I've actually just run out of Galaxy paint. So I need to actually go refill, then I will reshoot. I finally got the new Galaxy paint, so we can actually continue this painting section. So from where we left off was the fact that I was spraying the Galaxy on top of the white now. So I'm about to go back and do the Galaxy spraying now, and then we'll come back to flicking on some white paint. Go from there. Okay, as you can see, when I was doing the spraying, a drop of paint actually went down in here and it actually created a hole there. I'm going to cover that up with some white, and then once I actually do the flicking and everything like that, then I'll go back over it all again with the Nebula spray, and it should hopefully all fix it up. We'll see how we go from there. Okay, so now I've done that white patch there. The Nebula spray will come onto it later on, but what we need to do now is we need to get the white back again. We need a brush. So from the white and the brush, we just pour a few drops onto the end of the bristles. And this is the fun part. So from that, shake off a little bit of excess, so it's not too bad. Then we're going to flick it on. Now at the moment it just looks like a whole heap of white spots just bounced off everywhere. So now what we'll do is we'll go back over and we'll go back over it again with the Galaxy paint, and it all should start to blend in. Now that we've got our Galaxy paint reloaded again, we are now going to spray over the bits that were already part of the Nebula, like that we already made the Galaxy into. So with that, we want to keep a lot of the white in the black because that's obviously got to stay as white, but we want to blend in the Galaxy section. Now, because I had to go quite heavily over this one with the white, I am going to flick that back in with the paintbrush again, just to give it a bit more stars and a bit more prominence again. So loading the paintbrush back up again and just give it a few flicks. and then spraying back again with the Galaxy. And right there is pretty much how you do a Galaxy paint. So with everything blended the way that it is, you've got the blacks there, you've got the whites coming through at the stars, you've got the whisper of Galaxy coming through. This bit here, obviously I had to make do with the spot that I did. I'll probably, what is going to happen eventually is I'm going to actually create this into a Bloodbowl pitch. So there's going to be a lot more white that's going over the top of it. If you didn't want that particular thing that's happened in there, go back over it again with a bit of black paint and then come back in with the Nebula and restart that little process again, and it will all just blend in together. So from there, hopefully you enjoyed watching this, and if you like it, click like down the bottom. If not, hopefully I can make a better video for you. Hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.